All right, welcome into this live stream today. My name is Earl Hall. We're going to be talking about why you are not closing more deals. This is something obviously that can be very frustrating when you're a life insurance agent and you're really looking to start, build, and grow what it is that you're doing. Inside of your agency. Just flipping some switches over here. Excuse me while I do that. Closing deals. It's the thing that needs to happen. And it's one of those things where I'm going to be talking about very specifically coming up this Sunday. You see the scrolling ticker below. I want you to go ahead, click the link in the description to go ahead and register for the upcoming free webinar that we're going to have Sunday, February 19th, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link is in the description. People have been registering all week. I'm not putting a cap on how many people can come. Everybody can come. I want everybody that is a life insurance agent, that is in the financial services industry, to go ahead, register for that webinar. I'm going to be disseminating, I may as well just say gold, in this free webinar that you're going to have access to. So today, what it is that we're going to be talking about is why you are not closing more deals. We've been going over a lot of different tactics, strategies, reasons, things like that all week long. I've been coming to you live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Today's Thursday. I'll be doing another live stream for you tomorrow on Friday, which is going to be very interesting. So stay tuned for that because I'll be bringing up what we're going to be talking about on tomorrow. If you're following us on our YouTube channel, which you ought to be, you want to make sure that you head over there and go ahead. And if you're on YouTube right now, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Tons of videos, tons of information on how you can really go from 0 to 100K months in your life insurance business. And I don't know anyone that's actually not interested in doing that. So let's go with the first thing here. When we're taking a look at what it is that you ought to be doing to close more deals, or why you're not closing more deals, the first thing that comes up is your lead flow is not overwhelming. Now, what do I mean by that? Your lead flow, which actually is really the most important part of your business. We know in life insurance that if you don't have leads, you don't have a business. If you don't have a good quality lead flow, you don't have a business. Now, people use that word quality, and that's going to be relative in many cases. Some people use free leads. Some people, there's a whole bunch of different things. You buy leads from lead vendors. You get them from your CRM or from your agency or IMO or FMO or whatever, and you are seeing a result from that. But when I'm talking about your lead flow is not overwhelming, this is what I mean. As an example, people try and go cheap on this. I'm just going to be honest. People really try and go cheap on the lead, on getting the number of leads that they get in every week, every month, however you disseminate this out. Well, I'm going to buy 20 leads. This is what people say. I'm going to buy 20 leads, and I'm just going to see how that works out. And basically, I'm going to see how that works out. And if I sell, a couple of policies, then I'll go ahead and buy some more leads. This is a wrong strategy. Your lead income needs to be, or the amount of leads that you have coming in needs to be overwhelming to you. This is the reason why, because how many times, let's just say you're starting out and it's day one and you're calling 20 leads. You can go through 20 leads in 20 minutes and you're done calling. You can call them over and over again. If you go back to what I talked about on Tuesday, you'll see about that and that strategy that comes about with that. But 20 leads, how much can you actually work that? As opposed to if you have 1,000 leads. Now, I'm pretty sure many of you that are doing some of this stuff, you're already trying to calculate in your head how much that is going to cost you. And that's why also we're doing the live free webinar on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Lead costs do not have to be as expensive as they are. And I'm not talking about for old leads that are being resold to a whole bunch of other people. I'm talking about your own lead generation system that your leads are going to run you anywhere from $2 to $8. And I'm talking about brand new lead. I'm talking about brand new leads. I'm not talking about old stuff. I'm talking about lead exclusivity where only you are getting that lead and you are in complete confidence that it's not being sold to someone else. But we're going to get into that on Sunday. Make sure you click the link in the description so that you do not miss this live webinar that I'm going to be doing for you. So you want to be an overwhelm with your leads. That is flat out. When I'm talking about overwhelm, more than you can handle. More than you can handle. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So that's one of the reasons why you're not closing more deals. What's the second thing? You're not making enough dials. When I talk to life insurance agents, well, I got the leads in and I called them all. How many times did you call them? Well, I called them like twice. You're not making enough dials. And you're probably not making enough dials because you don't have enough leads to go through because your leads coming in are not overwhelming to you. When you're making the dials, just imagine this. Going back to what I said before, if you only bought 20 leads, that's not overwhelming, and you can't make any significant amount of dials on 20 in a day. Now, you ought to be calling them multiple times in a day, but how many times are you going to call them in that day? Whereas, if your lead source is overwhelming, as opposed to having 20, but you have, let's say, 1,000 all at once, you can't go through 1,000 dials in a day. You can't. You may could, right? I've done, I think, upwards of 500 dials, maybe anywhere between 300 to 500 dials I've done in a day. But if you have 20 leads, that's it. But if you have 1,000 leads, because you're overwhelming yourself with leads, you just continue to hit dial. You're picking up your phone, whatever, you're dialing. You're dialing. You're going to the next lead. You're going to the next lead. You're going to the next lead. If you have 20 leads, probably none of them will answer. If you have 1,000, I can guarantee you somebody's going to answer. I can guarantee you're going to book some appointments. I can guarantee you're going to make some sales. And then all of this will be justification for you to continue to have your lead sources or to have those leads that are coming in an overwhelm. You want it to be an overwhelm. So what's the next thing here? Why you're not closing more deals? You're not following a strategy. We talked about a very specific strategy, was yesterday or Tuesday, that I talked about how top producers go through and dial their leads. I won't tell you about that again. You can watch the previous videos. But there's a definite strategy to follow just in dialing. And then there's also a definite strategy in how it is that you have all of your back-end systems set up. If you're not following a strategy that actually works, nothing's going to work. You're kind of flying by the seat of your pants. At the beginning of your career, you kind of have to, until you get all of these things set up. But you've been in it for 3, 5, 6 months, a year, 5 years, and you still don't have a legitimate strategy that is trackable, there's a problem. Now, when I mention and I talk about a definite strategy to follow, the way that top producers do these things are vastly different from people that are only doing 20 or 30K a month. When I'm talking top producers, 50, 100, a million a month. And we have those clients at every level inside of Arturo Johnson Consulting. We work with all of these clients at this level, and this is why we can say very emphatically, we can show you how to go from 0 to 100K a month. This is what we can show you how to do. It's also the reason why you want to make sure that you are definitely on this live webinar that I'm going to be doing on Sunday. You see it below in the ticker right now. The live webinar coming up Sunday, February 19th, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Link is in the description. It's free. You need to be there if you want to get this vital information. Now, what's the final thing that we want to talk about right now? We want to talk, you're not making enough dials. Well, that's the wrong thing to put there because it's the same as before. But through the power that I have with Ecamm, what I'm going to do is just change this out to make it what it should say, which is basically you don't have your own system. And we talked about this a little bit on yesterday as well. So you don't have your own system. You don't have your own automated, predictable system. Right now, what so many people are doing is outsourcing the most important part of their business, which is lead generation. The most important part of your business is lead generation. And if you don't have your own automated, predictable system, there are many things that are going to fall through the cracks. There are many questions that are going to start to come to you. One of the questions is, if you're buying leads from a lead vendor, how are you 100% sure that that lead is exclusive to you? You can't. How do you know that that lead has not been sold to someone else? You don't. How do you know if that lead is actually brand new? You don't. And here's the big thing about working with lead vendors. You never see the ad they're running on your behalf. They never share with you the ad. And if you don't know this, I challenge you. If you're using a lead vendor, call them up, email them, and ask them, can you send me the ad that you're running on my behalf? The answer will always be no. This is a problem. And I want you to think about how big of a problem this is that you do not know what ad they are running on your behalf. And I can tell you this, this year I'll be 54 years old. And I remember when I was 49 and still selling life insurance, I got extremely angry when I was approaching my 50th birthday. Why did I get upset approaching my 50th birthday? Because actually I was very excited about turning 50. But I was now in the ecosystem of people selling final expense. They knew I was about to turn 50. And so I started seeing all these ads, in particular on Facebook, about buying life insurance, right? Because that's the target market, 50 to 85 for final expense, is it not? And so I'm looking at these ads targeted to me, and they're saying things like, attention seniors 50 and above, the federal government has come out with a brand new program that will cover the entire cost of your burial. The reason it made me so upset is because I started realizing why I was getting questioned on on prospects I was calling, and starting to talk to them. And they started saying things to me like, I thought this was free. The reason they thought it was free is because how the word was added. A new or free government program. The word benefits was in there. It sounds free. It doesn't sound like something I have to pay for or invest in. This is an issue that each and every one of us will face if we're purchasing leads from lead vendors that will not share with us the ad they're running on our behalf. This is also why you need to take the reins and have your own automated, predictable system of your own that you actually have learned how to run these ads to your target market that are very specific about what it is that needs to be done. On the call, the expectations, even from the ad standpoint, the expectations are set. They're putting in their information. It's only going to you. It's not costing you an arm and a leg, but now you know how to do this. This is one of the reasons why on tomorrow, what we're going to be talking about is how to generate your own Facebook leads. Now, I don't want anybody to get scary right here. No one needs to get scary about running their own Facebook ads. This is not rocket science. It is not hard to do. It is just something you don't know how to do yet. You can have a Facebook ad up and running today, and your leads will start coming in tomorrow. This is how quickly this works. Anywhere between no more than 48 hours. You build the Facebook profile where we will show you how to do this, and we're going to be talking about this on tomorrow as well. How to generate your own Facebook leads. This is a live stream you do not want to miss. You also want to make sure that you go ahead and click that link in the description about the live free webinar that I'm going to be doing on Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just go ahead and subscribe. It's free. It's not going to cost you a thing. I want you to go ahead and register for that now, because I think this is all vitally important. I think you need to know what's what. I think you need to stop depending on others to do the most important job that you have, which is lead generation. I firmly believe that. You need to have your own automated, predictable system. And this is why, once again, we're doing this free webinar Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Click the link in the description. On tomorrow, we're going to be talking about just that, how to generate your own Facebook leads. I definitely want to thank you so much for being here with me today and doing something, taking an action, taking a step to go ahead and do what you need to do in order to go ahead and start building the legacy, the business that you actually want to build in this life insurance industry. I'll see you on tomorrow, same time, 12 noon. It's already up on YouTube, Facebook, all the other platforms. Make sure you hit that reminder so that you don't miss out. And I'll see you then.